tried to film a live feed, and unfortunately it won't let me film a live feed. Every time I do it, it says live and then it says try again, I'm unable. I wanted to show you this bow, how it looks when the lights are off. This is a great centerpiece idea, or you can put it on anything. You can attach it to this is just a pickle jar. I have most of my jars are pickle jars except for this spaghetti jar. This spaghetti jar is not a pickle jar. But you see how this even has that gold, and you can always use a highlighter. You know, my mom got me this pen from the dollar store. And if I didn't have this wrapping paper, you could always trace it and give it that same sort of you see how it has that little bit of gold in it. And you could use a pen. This is a metallic pen, dollar store. So you can do so many things. And just to give you another idea, this is a can that's painted. You just want to make sure it's nice and smooth inside. And you see I put this, you want to recycle, reuse, repurpose this styrofoam. You put your flowers, poke it in, and it keeps it from moving around. So many things that you can do. You have a gold can. I got this from a regular item, and instead of just putting it in recyclables, I pulled the label off and found that the can was gold with this cool seam here. You see the seam? And I just said, wow, wow. And you could put your combs, your brushes inside of it. You can put put it in the kitchen, a bigger can in the kitchen, and put your spatulas, your whisk, all those little things that get in the way. You don't have to get an expensive kitchen set. So I'm going to do this quick little video. I tried to do a live stream. This is some duct tape from the dollar store. And you see how it picks up that nice shimmer. So can you imagine you're hosting an event and you just have all these great things that shimmer in the candlelight. Really easy to make. Making these things over your table as a centerpiece. This is another one that you can put a tea light, a flameless one. I would, because it's paper, I would do it that way. So anyway, so let me go ahead and give you guys some more information about the gang stalkers. I'm going to do as many videos as possible. Today, I did a lot of videos already, but I want to say more about what they're doing. I'm learning more about their attempt to talk over me and talk in the background of my videos and talk throughout the day is their way of learning my terminology so they can impersonate me, but also so that they can then tell me my ideas. So in my videos, they watch it, they go on my Twitter feed. I have Cup of Java Production. So on Twitter, if you Cup of Java Pro, Pro, you'll find Cup of Java Productions Twitter feed. My name is a Twitter feed, and also Bella Soul, which is Fashion Fun Femme. They want to take that and then they'll be able to recreate my identity, which they can then use to call people. This is how they said to start. They said this is some sort of a communication system that they use in prisons, where you put a microphone and a speaker in, I guess, a building, and people can talk. And that could be how come I'm hearing them talk. Sometimes they said it's not about me, but I know at this point they've rewired the apartment, so most of what they're saying is about me. And so I think this is what drives people crazy. We've been having a lot of incidents now in prisons where people are arguing and yelling, and I'm sure that happened before, but I know that this system started to drive me absolutely crazy, because I heard them talking all day and night. Can you imagine? It's like being in it's a torture system. So on top of being hit in the head, talking all day and night. So then they switched it. This is what they do. They switch it from being about one thing to being about another. And they said, well, it's designed to help us create a computer-generated program so we can create dialogue. Then they said, no, it's also designed to help us figure out what you'll do next, so we can kind of plan what your next move will be. Then it's designed to talk to me, to remind me of stuff. Then it's designed to confuse me. So what I'm getting from this is that this system is designed to talk to me about things I've already done or what they said they wrote, which is again a stalker. So the elementary schoolmate seems to have written a book of things that I've said or what I would say, and then they fill in what they would say or do, so that ultimately they'll have the ability to create dialogue, create a way of calling people I know and pretending to be me, stealing my identity. And it causes me to, when I'm speaking to you folks or I'm speaking in general, I feel an ache of pain. When I feel an ache of pain, I stop talking, and then I hear them talking in the background when I'm trying to read. I'm reading at one pace, then they're reading at another pace, and then say, for example, this, instead of saying a more, they'll say any more, so that if I'm talking to you, I might say any more. It's just too much confusion. So it's designed to be confusing. It's designed to try to anticipate what I would do or say, steal my identity, use me for they said some sort of customer service, like an automated system where you'd call up and you'd hear an automated system speak as I would, because I have a history of successful customer service. So it's just a lot of this is starting to, once you start to roll it out, you start to see, oh, wow, that would be a reason. It's a way of getting something for nothing. Instead of hiring me, instead of doing it the correct way, you get something for nothing. And again, I cannot support that. Please, folks, tell the world this exists. I know I'm not the only person. When you have an idea and you have the ability to present the idea, as I told you, I'm a presentable person. I'm not someone who wouldn't be with the public, because I've dealt with the public since I was 18. So there would be no reason to substitute me with an artificial me. I told them years ago when I first realized they were doing this, and I tried to, they said, well, you should have figured out a way to stop it. Well, the way to stop it, they recommend, is going upstairs and going next door and going to this person, that person, and confronting them. No, that's not a way to stop it. That's a way to make it worse. That's what gangs do. And I mentioned this earlier to my mom. I said, we are living in a world where people, when something bad happens, they go and confront someone, and it makes the situation worse. So instead of us all doing the wrong things the wrong way, let's expose the bad thing that's happening. Because for those folks who will say, well, why don't you just confront? These people switch apartments, which is how I know it's connected to River Bay. They switch from one apartment to the other. They're going to cut me off because I'm telling the truth. Whenever I start to tell the truth, they can't handle it. They switch apartments from one apartment to the other because, according to them, they don't live here. They are allowed to stay here for a short period of time. So I would be confronting every single person every single day until I've confronted just everyone in the world. Instead, I'm going to expose this so that those of you who would never be a party to this type of situation, to them spreading lies, exploiting people, using people, abusing people, will know and warn everyone else about it. The last part about that I wanted to say, just to go back on topic, is that instead of confronting people, and that's how this is how we're living in the world now, where one person does something wrong, someone confronts them, someone